Hi, I'm Matthew Tomaszewski of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Welcome to this old hall. In this episode, we travel back more than 80 years to explore the life of a woman whose purse was discovered in Lincoln Hall during the demolition in 2010. Thanks to a receipt we found inside, we have her name, Pauline Martha Hurd, a student during the Prohibition era and the dawn of the Great Depression. During our investigation, we learned how much student life has changed over the years, and yet how much it remains the same. A young, principled woman arrives at the university, opens her mind, falls in love, and is soon tested by tragedy and hard times. Pauline passed away in 2008, but her purse reveals a story that resonates today. Pauline was born in Urbana in 1911, the same year that Lincoln Hall opened. She attended Champaign High School, where she was described as tender by her classmates. She enjoyed literary activities such as the Quill Club, Book Club, and school newspaper. Pauline was the only child of Dr. Orville Hurd and Bessie Craig, who were married in Urbana in 1906 and were leaders in their own right.
Dr. Orville was an osteopathic physician, and back then it wasn't totally accepted. He was trying to convince people that this should be an accepted medical profession. They believed that manipulation of the spine and very little use, or if any, of drugs for pain. Bessie was also very involved in the community. She was involved with the WCTU, the Women's Christian Temperance Union.
My mother's mother was also almost a feminist, modern woman, so to speak. And my mom kind of followed in those footsteps. And my grandmother, being no wonder my mom was that way, she, it was kind of unheard of in those days, she put my grandfather through college.
Two uncles that were the brothers of her father Orville, George Hurd, and he was the mayor of Urbana from 1939 to 1949. Before that, her uncle Lyman Hurd was the mayor. There was just a lot of rich information that started out with just that purse being found in Lincoln Hall.
Pauline entered the University of Illinois in 1927 at the ambitious age of 16, and at that time, Lincoln Hall was only half its current size. But while she was a student, Lincoln Hall acquired the Lincoln bust in the foyer, added the theater, and doubled in size. Given that her purse was found in the first floor women's bathroom, behind a plumbing chase wall, it's likely that her purse was stolen and then ditched in the chaos amidst the building's expansion.
She started off with a major in music and then entered the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and finally ended up graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Education. So it's not uncommon even for students in the past to have changed their major a number of times. She was involved in Lambda Omega, Bethany Circle, the Jamesonian Literary Society, the Annonian Literary Society, and the Interliterary Council. Found in her purse were a bunch of tickets from a Women's League fashion review. These are the secretary notes from the Women's League. They were telling of the plan for ticket sales, and they announced that a cup would be awarded for the most number of tickets sold. So that's probably why she had so many tickets in her purse. She was trying to win the award.
Just in terms of population, today we have approximately 32,000 undergraduates. But at the time when she was here, we had 10,873 graduates when she was a senior, of which 3,000 were women. Eternal Flame Bench and Pillar next to Lincoln Hall and English Building would have been here on campus when she was here. But other things that we take for granted as campus landmarks, such as Assembly Hall, was not yet constructed. The alma mater was actually dedicated while she was a student here in 1929.
Pauline remembered a particular rhetoric professor at U of I who influenced her life. In her memoirs, she wrote, "That professor's advice was more than academic. For when I was a freshman, my smugness and piety were challenged when she responded to my statement that I wasn't sure I would choose friends that smoked. For the rest of her life, she seemed to take this advice to heart, later writing, 'It was friends who scoffed at the church and loved their cocktails who understood my concerns and helped me to become self-confident and to find my own independence.'"
Being such a young student, too, to start college, she was probably not real grown up.
Young as she was, she captured the heart of a hard-working civil engineering student and professional musician 7 years older, Frank Madison from Joliet. Frank played tenor and baritone saxophone in U of I's concert band and First Regimental Band under pioneering director Professor A.A. Harding and even legendary bandmaster John Philip Sousa.
They they had the mutual friend that introduced it. In fact, I think it was someone Mom had been seeing. Mom said that Daddy came to pick her up one time, and he was, Mom wasn't quite ready, so when she came into the room, my dad and my grandfather were playing pool together. He had a pool table, and she said she knew right then he was the one for her.
Pauline and Frank got married the same summer she graduated, in 1931. In the throes of the Great Depression, they moved to wherever the jobs were and encountered several hard knocks.
When I was born, we lived on a farm, and Dad made $25 a month plus a bottle of cream. I mean, it was pretty tough times then.
As preserved in her memoir, Pauline provided us with the rest of her story. By age 30, she learned to drive so she could attend business school, work, and see Frank 75 miles away in a sanitarium to treat his second bout of tuberculosis. Pauline taught high school, volunteered, and later worked at the University of Colorado. Shortly after their 35th wedding anniversary in 1966, Frank and Pauline were in a car crash, and only Pauline survived. She found solace through church, and among her proudest accomplishments became one of the first female elders in her church. Pauline continued to fill journals reflecting on her spiritual journey. She passed away at age 97 in Colorado. Pauline's children said she always wanted to write a book. She never did, but she serendipitously became the heroine of this mystery/love story episode of This Old Hall.